Welcome back. So it's been a minute since I have revisited my original technique, which is just the plain old blooms. Pretty crazy back when they first came out, but now they're kind of, it's quite regular seeing the blooms out there. So I sometimes forget to just get back to the basics. So today I'm just going to show you guys a couple of regular blooms. Got a couple of little tests I want to do. First one is I'm going to use tube paints with one piggy and see if I can get some different colours happening when they blend together. So I've got Atelier Free Flow Magenta, Atelier Free Flow Cobalt Turquoise Light, Holcroft Phthalo Blue, TLP Ore, and a white cell activator. So I'm hoping that the gold will mix with the blue and make some greens, and it may also mix with the pink and make a little bit of orange colour. So not sure if I want the green and orange to mix together once they blend out of the colours, but we'll just see what happens if we pop some paint down, and let's just give it a go. So I'm just going to start with drizzling a little puddle of the Cobalt Turquoise Light as my base colour. Now I'm going to layer this ore in between that and the magenta. And I'm also going to pop another little puddle of it on before the phthalo blue. I'm going to finish with the phthalo blue, and I don't want a whole heap of it because it's probably going to be the strongest colour there. Then some cell activator. I'm just going to give it a basic blowout. Not sure if there's anything there, but a little bit more pink. And I might just get my straw and see if there's something in that spot there. I haven't got my thin straw at the moment. I must get another one. I filled it up with paint, so I can't get the air through it anymore. All right, so don't know. It's not that exciting, is it? But we'll give it a chance. Some pretty colours there, but yeah, just as I suspected, I don't know. It did make some orange colours and some green colours, but they did mix together a little bit, so time will tell if that worked or not. Kind of cute. Let's pop the piggy light on and see how we do. So basically when I say piggy light, I'm just moving my large white studio light to the side and flicking on a warm light that I've got set up the top of the roof. Sometimes the further away the further away the warm light is, the better it does pick up the shimmer. It's sometimes not good to put the warm light right down on top of, you know, here, because your reflective circle from the light is much larger. So the beauty of having it up on the roof is you still get all that warm reflective light, but because the globe itself is way up there, it's not so, you don't see the big, well, it's still, I lied, it still looks big. But yeah, also the other thing is when the cell activator sinks and it makes it quite bumpy across the surface until it settles down, sometimes the light, it is harder to pick up the shimmer in the light when it's a bit textured. That's why when you coat things with resin, it's a really amazing way to glide the light over the top of the flat resin surface and pick up the beautiful shimmer that way. So basically that's the white light, the studio lighting, and that's the little piggy light. So yeah, I keep both types of light because I do like the studio lighting to come down on top and show the true color when I'm actually painting. And then obviously the piggy light picks up the pearlescent piggies a lot better. So that was a cool experiment. I don't mind that at all. A little bit too much blue in the middle for my liking, but I did try to not put so much phthalo blue on for that reason. And then I did put a little bit too much on, so. Anyway, I think that's a keeper. And I might just move straight on to another one while I'm set up. Pop that one aside. It's quite a nice summery palette there. Seems it's getting hot here in Oz. I've also got my fluidartco matte happening here. It's a silicone matte. I probably won't be able to get to the point where I can let this dry and peel it off because I want to use this one again, but it's quite easy to just scrape it off and wipe clean and start again. I've also been having a little bit of trouble with these particular cradle boards. So I decided to coat them in resin first, which is a little bit tedious, but I'm still waiting for the fluidartco boards to get produced here in Australia, which is coming soon. And I can't wait to make the switch to those because yeah, hopefully don't need to prime them. Definitely don't need to resin them, which is a pain in the you know what. But for now, to make sure I get a flat surface with no wood grain and no imperfections coming through after it's dried, I have coated mine in resin first. It was a last ditch effort at getting them absolutely perfect and flat, but it had to be done while I'm waiting for the good fluidartco boards. So let's go for something completely different this time. I'm going to pull out some piggies. I've got sockeye, Syrah, Sangria, ball gown. I've also got my magenta again. So it's going to be a bit pink and gold. And I've got also an opaque pink as well. What's that called? Titanium Rose from Holcroft. So yeah, I'm going to go for a little bit of a romantic type palette with pinks and golds. What I'm going to do is pop down the Titanium Rose just underneath a black cell activator. So I'm hoping that that's going to bring out a lot of the piggies underneath. I'm not really going to use white for this one because I don't really have enough sort of dark tubes in there to be using a white CA, so I'm going to stick to the black this time. Haven't actually used this black yet, so hopefully I've mixed it up well. All right, so the experimental side of this particular bloom is I want to see if I can go crazy with the piggies, unlike the last one where I only used one. I've still got beautiful shimmer throughout the whole painting, but this time I'm going 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go straight on with 4 piggies at the bottom. And then I'm going to, no I'm not, I'm going to go with the magenta first. Then I'm going to go for the 4 piggies. Then I'm going to finish up with the Titanium Rose and the black CA. So let's get cracking. Had probably just the right amount of pillow on there last time, so go for about the same again. It's good to have a little bit too much. You don't want to be spinning your art out and hoping that it goes down the side, but then it won't really reach down all the edges because it's going to drip down in little bits if you don't have enough pillow. Another little trick I'm doing here is just going to cover the sides of my board with some of that leftover pillow from before. That's going to help drag this pillow straight down when it hits the side. Even though it looks like I've definitely got enough paint on there this time to not need to do that, sometimes it can help to just drag it over the edge. Because it's wet, it's going to make it a lot easier for this to slip over. Right, so let's go with the magenta. Just doing a couple of regular blown out blooms for you, taking it back to the basics. I've been doing lots of experimenting lately, so I've had some requests to just show people how I've been blooming lately. Been getting a little bit obsessed with swipes, and now the dusting in the molds and all these different techniques I've decided to branch out and try. That it's cool to sometimes. I don't really ever get sick of blooms. Like, to be honest, I just love that surprise factor where you just don't really know what you're going to get. Even after years, I still love it. So yeah, not sick of it just yet. Okay, so I'm going to go with, so the Syrah I don't really want too close to the pillow, so I'm not going to go with that one first. I'm going to go for Sockeye, which is a bit of a salmon colour, but I also like to think of it as a bit of a lipstick colour as well, a bit of a corally pink. Definitely reminds me of some lipsticks I see out there. Ball gown. Don't really need a lot of ball gown, especially if you're using a black CA, because ball gown can be quite overpowering, and it's not so fantastic when it gets near black, so you just want to have a little bit of that. Syrah, gorgeous deep wine colour. What have we got left? Sangria. Oh, that's going to be nice. Straight under this titanium rose. I've never used this titanium rose before. Kind of reminds me of the Persian rose from Amsterdam, but it's a little bit lighter, if you're wanting a comparison. So popping that directly under the black cell activator is going to be much better than putting that black cell activator on directly on top of the piggies. The little particles can bleed into the CA sometimes, so we don't want that. Okay, so once I pop this down, I'm just going to get straight into it and not wait around, because this black tends to sink sometimes. I haven't mixed it up very thick, so it's a bit heavy on the Floetrol, so we're just going to get in there and blow that as soon as I get that on. You can see my little halo starting to form there. It's not too extreme, which is good. It means my cells are probably going to hold quite well. Get back in the middle. Get my little straw again. Got some patches there left. Don't worry too much about disturbing the other cells. It might make them a little bit wonky for a little bit, but they'll come back. It's probably, sometimes the cells pop up in the middle anyway, regardless of whether you do the extra little bits. Just depends if you like the real clean bloom or if you prefer the little miniature blooms inside the bloom, if that makes sense. I know you guys know what I mean. So that's quite pretty. Don't want to lose too much of that on the outside, where all my pretty colours are. But yeah, so that opaque paint straight underneath the cell activator has made some nice little peacock cells there. Some multicolored cells. So let's bring it up and have a look-see. Quite a girly combo, isn't it? So as you can see, it's dragged that right down off the edge very easy. It was probably going to anyway because I had quite a bit of pillow there. Might just turn that one off and see if it makes it a bit better. It's sometimes better not to have any other lights interfering with. Oops. That one. Okay, let's have a look. Sangria is beautiful in there. Syrah's giving it a little bit of depth. Probably got a little bit too much paint on there still. Just spin a nice little bit off there. Sometimes it's hard, you don't want to lose what's on the outside, but at the same time you want it to dry well too, so. Pretty. Okay, so there you go. 2 little experiments with plain blooms. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And now I'm gonna clean up a little bit and try something a little bit different. I've got all my kids at school. As you can tell, it's super quiet compared to normal. Normally they're screaming in the background, and the guys have a hard time editing their little voices out sometimes, but it's nice being home alone with my quiet little puppies next to me down there. Not making any kind of interruptions as yet. So yeah, happy days. All right guys, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you guys again soon with another video. Okay, bye.